Good evening and welcome to Janaagraha's special edition on the 16th Finance Commission report. We are here to walk you through the recommendations of the 16th Finance Commission report, which was tabled in Parliament today by the Finance Minister. What is the Finance Commission? The Finance Commission is a constitutional body that is formed every 5 years to determine how much tax revenues get held by the union government and how much get distributed to state governments. Along with this, Finance Commissions also determine grants to local governments, essentially gram panchayats and municipalities. The 16th Finance Commission has given a historically unprecedented 3.5 lakh crores to urban local governments in India. This represents possibly the single largest grant to urban local governments in India, and this could transform first mile infrastructure and service delivery in India's cities, particularly smaller cities and towns. With me here are my colleagues Apula and Prabhat, who will walk you through the details of the 16th Finance Commission report.
The 16th Finance Commission has made a historic allocation to local governments, increasing the share from almost 4.5 lakh crores to a whopping 8 lakh crores. This marks a 181% increase in the share of local governments as compared to the 15th Finance Commission allocation. These grants are further divided into rural local governments and urban local governments in the ratio of 55% to 45%. This too is a massive increase from the 36% that the 15th Finance Commission allocated to urban local governments. Here, the 16th Finance Commission has made this bold move, acknowledging the rapid urbanization in the country as well as the economic contribution of cities to the growth of the country.
Grants to urban local government has increased to 3.5 lakh crores from 1.5 lakh crore from 15th FC period. This represents a grant of around 2.3 times over previous 5 years. While this is important, it will be interesting to see what are the different kind of grants that has been distributed. Grants to urban local government is distributed in basic grant, special grants and performance grants. Basic grant of around 2.3 lakh crore has been recommended. Out of that, 50% is tied to water and sanitation. The rest of the 50% is untied grants to local bodies. Performance grants worth 58,000 crore have been recommended. Out of these, there are two types of performance grants. One is grants for urban local government performance grant. The second one is state performance grant. It is important to see the urban local government performance grant is linked to the increase in own source revenue of local body. They have to increase their own source of revenue by 5% to be eligible for this grant. It is remarkable to see that 16th Finance Commission has moved on from property tax collection to own source revenue collection for checking the eligibility for performance grant. The performance grant under a state component is linked to state devolving 20% of the basic grant to local government in previous year.
The 16th Finance Commission has introduced two special grants. One is an infrastructure component intended for cities within the population of 1 million to 4 million. The focus of this grant is to actually do comprehensive wastewater management in 22 cities across 14 states. The Finance Commission has recognized the issues of quality of services, especially focusing on drainage as well as the rampant flooding that some of these cities are facing due to climate change effects. So the focus of this grant is to actually do a comprehensive planning across the city and to invest holistically in the drainage and wastewater management plan for the city. About 60% of the project costs will be coming through the allocation from the Finance Commissions, and the rest has to be borne by the state governments and the urban local governments. The second special grant is actually an urbanization premium of rupees 10,000 crores, which is intended to promote planned rural to urban transition in peri-urban areas of cities with population above 1 lakh. There is a condition that the states would have to meet to actually get this grant. They're required to formulate a rural to urban transition policy model along the lines of the state of Odisha, which already have one, and the other states are also encouraged to think about how they would provide for basic urban infrastructure as well as capacities in cities which are getting merged or expanding their boundaries.
While recommending significant increase of grants to urban local government, 16th Finance Commission has also put 3 eligibility criteria for ULGs to get those grants. The first one is duly elected body. If local government is not duly elected, it means if ULG elections are not held, ULG will not get the grant. The second one is online public availability of audited annual accounts. This is a good step. This will lead to significant increase in not just the availability but the quality of the audited annual accounts as well. The third condition, which is a very important one, is formation of state finance commissions. In addition to 2 conditions on duly elected body and public availability of audited accounts, 16th Finance Commission has also put a condition on formation of SFCs. While this condition has been picked from the 15th Finance Commission, 16th Finance Commission has gone one level ahead and also ensured that the states submit ATRs within 6 months after submission of report by state finance commissions. Moreover, there is a significant push on reforms as well. The first major area for reforms is improving the overall source of funding available with the local government itself. The reform linked to own source of revenue in performance grant would enable that. Moreover, the reform linked to the state performance grant for increasing the devolution to local governments would also improve that. Moreover, there has been significant reform conditions linked to property tax as well. Second important reform area is improving the fiscal accountability and the governance. Under this, the importance of publication of audited financial statements has been continued. Recommendation by 15th Finance Commission on audited accounts have seen more than 95% of the urban local governments publishing their audited annual accounts on cityfinance.in.
Third reform recommendation focuses on improving the availability and quality of service level data across all ULGs. The Finance Commission has ensured this by recommending that Mahua invest in third-party assessments or audits or other independent verification mechanisms, and it can do this by collaborating with state governments, urban local governments as well as the CAG of India in developing such a framework. Fourth important recommendation focuses on ensuring predictability and accountability of transfers to ULGs. This is being ensured through publication of all transfers that go to the urban local governments through the annexure of the state budgets. So be it transfer of centrally sponsored schemes or other state grants that go to urban local governments, finance commission grants, as well as any other transfers from state governments should be mentioned in the annexure of the state budget on an annual basis so that cities have predictability over the grants that they will be receiving in a particular year.
16th Finance Commission has also recommended measures for timely release of its grants to urban local government. It has recommended that if a set of ULGs has completed the conditions, they should get the grant instead of waiting for entire ULGs in a state to complete the grant. These allocations, which is 2.3 times of the allocations under the 15th FC, will lead to considerable improvement in service levels in our cities. However, to utilize the full potential of these grants, our cities need to plan better, prepare for projects better, prepare better DPRs, and they need to increase their capacities to further execute these projects on the ground. 16th Finance Commission has laid the conditions for urban rejuvenation across the country. How it pans out will depend on the action taken by states and urban local governments. Be curious about allocation to your city under 16th Finance Commission.